Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. I am your host, Matt Powers. Thank you again for joining me. Please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. And also give me a follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. So why do autographs cost so much money nowadays? I'm with you. I think that for most athletes, they're probably getting a little out of control. And it's easily the biggest complaint you're here in the industry outside of autograph quality, which I went over in the previous video. So why are guys with no championships, no all-star games, why is their autograph costing hundreds of dollars? Back in the day, those guys would maybe be a $15, $25 autograph, right? Why are some guys costing thousands of dollars like Tom Brady? All right. So what contributes to the final price of the autograph that you pay? And probably the question that is on most of your minds is, are dealers greedy? I hear that all the time from some of the crazies on social, but I'll get to that at the end of the video and my thoughts on that topic. But yes, autographs are getting very, very expensive, way out of control. I'm totally with you on most guys that they should be a lot cheaper, all right? The price of some autographs it's just skyrocketed in the last couple years. There's a lot of contributing factors to that, which I'm going to go over with you here today. I just saw a couple signings. Where was I? I was on some social media channel, and I saw them got announced, and I saw who the names were, and I was like, ooh, I haven't seen those guys sign in a while. Those guys would probably sell. And then I looked at the pricing. I was like, yeah, those guys won't sell. I mean, I was just sticker shock by some of the pricing. And, these guys are good players. But I was just like, what? Nobody's going to buy that. Of course, I'm reading the comments because that's where you get a lot of feedback on that. And everything was just like way overpriced, too much money. So, I mean, a couple $100 for guys with, no all-star games. I mean, that's just kind of, I don't know, a little too much for me. So anyway, so to continue on here, what is the deal with all these autographs? Why are they so high? I'm going to touch on a bunch of different points here, and then at the end, I will talk about, are dealers greedy? Yes and no. So be sure to stick around for that there, all right? First off, let's talk about number one here. Why are autographs so pricing has gone up so much is competition. Many dealers, they do compete against other dealers for certain guys, so thus driving up the price. Sometimes they actually find out who they're competing against, and then they actually agree to a deal to stop negotiating against themselves, and they end up splitting the deal. But yes, players do command a higher price because they know their autograph is in high demand. So a lot of guys are going to be competing against each other, and thus when competition happens, pricing is going to go up when guys are trying to secure deals with some of these hot autographs. All right, number two is incentives, especially around this time of year. World Series is starting on Friday. Guys will have a clause in their contracts that will say, hey, listen, if I win World Series MVP, my autograph price is going to be this, okay? They know that those are the autographs that you want from the World Series champion. You want the World Series MVP. So they'll put that in their autograph contract saying, hey, listen, yeah, I'll do a signing with you after the World Series. But if I win World Series MVP, my price is going to go up $15, $25, whatever it is, all right? So, I mean, imagine Bryce Harper, for example. Let's say he wins World Series MVP. Harper's been hot this whole postseason. You can bet that his autograph price on World Series baseballs is going to be going up and up compared to where they are at currently today. All right, number three, exclusive deals. Players are more of a newer phenomenon, probably in the last 5-6 years or so, but there are exclusive deals almost everywhere now. If you see a player's under exclusive contract, just know that that's probably going to be an expensive autograph. When a dealer has forked out over a huge chunk of change to a contract and they can basically control the market on this guy, yes, they're going to have to recoup that cost as quick as possible. They've got a ton of money that they sometimes paid up front to some of these guys, so they've got to get that money back, and they are going to push the envelope on that price. And again, they can always kind of bring that price back down. Again, they control the autograph pricing. They don't have to compete against anybody else, so they're always going to try and shoot for the moon when they have those exclusive contracts. Number four, I talked about this in the last video here. Player salaries, and what they're getting paid off on the field right now. I mean, if you're making $5 million, you're not really interested in a $10,000 autograph deal or a $5,000 autograph deal, okay? It's gotta be worth your time. A lot of these guys are just making so much money on the field. Plus, think about it too. The player is gonna have to now pay taxes on that deal if it's not a cash deal. Did I just say that out loud? Yeah, most guys probably get paid via cash. So they don't have to pay the Uncle Sam stuff. But yeah, so if they gotta pay taxes on it, if they get a check, they're gonna have to pay their agent fees. And again, these guys are in the highest tax bracket, so they're going to be losing 40% of that deal. So $10,000 deal, yeah, it sounds great, but if you got to pay taxes and agent fees and all that stuff, you're probably only netting a couple grand. Again, for these guys making $5 million on the field, is it really worth it for them to do that? For some guys, no. Therefore, you've got to raise up your cost to pay these guys. So let's say you got to do 20 grand now, okay? That raises up your unit price and ultimately the price that you guys pay. And number 5 is expectations. Oftentimes dealers will sign guys who maybe haven't done a signing yet, or it's been a while since they've done one, and they're just not sure how to price it accordingly. You get guys that are just coming into the league. They've had maybe a couple good years. They've had some good batting average. Maybe they put some points up on the board, and the potential for this guy to maybe win a championship or to become an emerging player is something that dealers are always looking for, because they want to be at the first level of those guys. They want to be on the scratching the surface with them so they can kind of control that price if all of a sudden, hey, this guy becomes the next Aaron Judge. Judge used to be like a $25 autograph when he was coming into the league. Now what is he now? $500-$600, okay? So if guys haven't signed before and dealers are kind of prospecting a little bit, yes, they're going to be raising that price up a little bit on these guys here because of the potential for those expectations on certain guys. But again, if a guy hasn't signed before, it's kind of hard to price where these guys are at. Again, you can always lower that price down, but they've got to kind of guess what collectors are willing to pay. So if you see a guy that hasn't signed for a while and you see that first signing pop up and you don't like the pricing, you may want to wait, because the dealer may end up with a lot of product afterwards. They may not sell out, and therefore they'll probably reduce the price on the next signing. All right, number 6 is your travel and the cost of getting to these signings and all those additional costs that you guys don't really necessarily think of when you see that actual autograph price. Price of flying, the price of gas, everything has gone up recently. And those factors go into what you're paying. So for example, let's say an athlete's getting paid $20,000 to sign, but you've got $2,000 in travel costs for you and your team. Now that adds to that bottom line there. So you always got to be thinking about all these travel costs. I mean, my gosh, I flew to Boise for like a couple months ago, and it was like $2,000 for 4 people. So just crazy pricing flying right now if they got to do that for a signing. Obviously, we prefer to drive, a lot cheaper that way. But again, it's just really, really crazy pricing on all that stuff right there as far as travel goes right now. All right, number 7 here, we're talking about overhead and payroll. And again, you may pay a guy $50 for an autograph and you may sell him for $150, right? Sounds great. You've got a $100 profit. But again, you're gonna have to deduct that travel we just talked about. And you got payroll expenses, you got marketing, you got your credit card fees, you got shipping costs. If it's a big signing, you need 3 people there. Now you've got 1 to 2 days of payroll, right? So you've got to travel to and from the event. You got to pay them while they're at the event. Not to mention all the other things that cost you to run a business on every single month. For example, you've got your website, you got rent, you've got insurance, you got healthcare, you got all this stuff that kind of contributes to what that final autograph price is. So, I mean, given all this information, you can kind of see how that kind of adds up a little bit. So, yes, while it'd be nice to pay a cheap price for an athlete and be able to sell it for like $10 above cost to you, it just isn't possible when you factor in kind of all these other costs in running a business. Now let's get to the topic that a lot of you probably are thinking is, well, pricing's gone up because dealers are just greedy. Is this true? Well, first off, let me just say, I don't think there's any one person or one company that's ruining anything. You hear that all the time too. The dealers are ruining everything. Now, dealers are providing a service and a product that ultimately, the consumers will decide whether they want. Ultimately, it's up to you if you want to pay the autograph price or if you don't want to pay the autograph price. So the power really is in your hands. And I've talked about this on the show dozens of times. If you don't like the price for an athlete's autograph, don't pay it. The only way that dealers are going to get the word out is if, wow, holy crap, we got stuck with half the product. That price was too high. We're going to have to bring it down for the next signing, all right? Yes, it would be great to have a Tom Brady autograph cost $200. I would love that. It would be great to be able to have that for people to buy those for their kids for Christmas. But again, it just isn't really feasible given all the information kind of that we talked about, you know? All right, now let's get to that final topic here about the greediness. Now, are dealers actually greedy? Yes and no. I'm with you guys. Sometimes I think they are, but I would say 90+% of the time of all the dealers that I deal with, and I'm talking about people that order a couple times a year, out of all of them, I would say occasionally maybe 2 or 3 of them are a little bit greedy, maybe opportunistic on some things. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. If they think they can get, price X for an item or for a certain guy, then go for it. Okay, it's your business. Don't let me tell you how to run your business. You know it way better than I do. All right. But I remember like recently, an item was selling that I usually sell for $200. Right, $200. It sells all day long at that particular price. Very popular for this particular athlete, and someone was selling it for $400. Now, nothing had changed as far as the cost of the athlete. Nothing else had changed. Just for some random reason, the price doubled. Now, in that case, yes, I would consider that's probably a little bit of greed there, maybe trying to take advantage of some people there. Again, it's an athlete who signs quite frequently, so I mean, usually they're at the $200 range. But seeing it at $400, I was like, there's no way those are going to sell for it. Nobody's going to pay that. So I would rather sell a whole bunch of units at a lower cost, make everyone happy. A lot of people send me stuff that they sell, which is great. And hey, listen, if you win, I win, everybody wins. That's great. You make money, I make money. And again, we can do it all again at the next signing. We can all get our piece of the pie and keep the train rolling. That's what I'm all about. And I want to make sure that you guys are happy with the quality of the autographs, but also the price that you're paying. And if you're selling them on the side, hey, that's great. No problem at all. I love doing that, all right? And I just recently talked to another dealer. He's worked with a bunch of guys, some of the big names in baseball. I think he's probably known for. We were talking about one of the athletes that he still works with, and I was talking about all the pricing, all this crazy price structures you see now, and can't sign this, can't do this, and he was saying, I've talked with so-and-so about this, and listen, I told him that if you keep your pricing simple and you keep it somewhat affordable for these guys, and you don't ban items and say you won't sign stuff like this, and you keep the collector at the forefront of what you are doing, and keep them in mind, and always try to help them and benefit them, you will sign autographs forever because people will love you. And this particular athlete will sign autographs forever. He's one of those guys that is super popular. And I like that strategy. Keep it really simple for the collector, keep the pricing somewhat affordable, and keep your pricing structure really easy to understand, and you will go far. I mean, imagine signing autographs for 30 or 40 years as opposed to signing it once every 5 years because you want your pricing so high, okay? Definitely don't like that policy, and that's the reason why this guy I'm thinking about here has been signing for quite a while and signs all the time. A lot to get to there very quickly. Hopefully this helps you guys kind of understand why autographs have kind of gone up. Yes, there is a little bit of greediness, I think, to some aspect, but there's also a lot of costs that go involved in these businesses nowadays. It's not a mom and pop operation that is running on the corner of your town there. So there's a lot going into it, and we do our best to really keep it down there. Most guys are pretty affordable, but sometimes there's just stuff that happens out of our control. Guy wins a World Series MVP, pricing goes up. It's part of the contract. Or hey, listen, airlines are going up, gas is going up. That's beating a dead horse there. You guys all know that. So again, I'll try on my end to keep everything as affordable as I can, but some of the stuff is kind of out of my control. But again, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully this helps you understand the pricing structure a little better there. Again, don't forget to visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. You can see all the autograph signings that we got going on there. Don't forget to visit the website and follow me on Instagram @PowersAutographs. And I will see you on the next episode.